page 73, the Konko Faith Our Creed together. The Konko Faith Our Creed. We believe in Tenshi Kanenokami, the divine parent of the universe. Our founder, Konko Daijin, embraced Kami's revelations and the divine mediator answers the call to humanity. Our continued goal from moment to moment is to realize Kami within each of us. We are fulfilled through Kami. Kami is fulfilled through us. The happiness of everyone is Kami's greatest wish. We declare Kami's blessings, mysterious, wondrous, and mundane. Blessings begin with our own hearts full of harmony and joy. We pray wholeheartedly to Kami, today and every day, trusting Kami as our loving parent, finding peace of mind. We live our faith in service to Kami, each other, and our world, nurturing and nurtured, mutually fulfilled. We revere those who have gone before us. Here's one with Kami, caring for us eternally. Respect and appreciate other paths, seeking by humanity for spiritual fulfillment. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for coming. Earlier when Janet was offering the tamagoshi, like remembering Alan, and then my mom started to cry. I was like, oh no, you're gonna make me cry. So I tried to say the prayers loudly, like, not to be distracted. A lot of good memories with Alan. I especially remember the time because they have the same birthday as my dad, July 3rd. Alan and my dad have the same birthday. Then he would come sometimes on the birthday, and we sing happy birthday with the cake, and they'll blow the cake together, and those really happy moments. And the time that Janet would bring him over, and he would come up in the stairs and pray, and just extend that warm greeting, that warm hug. And I really miss him, but I do feel that his spirit is here with us, and that's why we get so emotional, because he's here. So Alan, Anthony, we miss you and we love you. Okay, today I want to talk about noticing the peach. And I think I talked about this in the past, but it's a good repeat, I think. We had a Kyoten Study Group session this past Wednesday, and we talked about something many of us eventually notice as we go through life. And it's actually very rare to find somebody who has everything, you know? When we're younger, we think, oh, he has everything. Money, fame, cars, house, rich, just everything, and then he's not suffering. And some people are financially comfortable, but their health isn't great. Some people are very healthy, but they struggle mentally. Some people look successful, but they don't get along well with others. And it's one thing or another. And my dad, he always says this in the sermon, Shindai to ningen to tasha. Shindai means, I don't know, financial stability. Ne? Shindai means to have financial stability. Ningen is to be in good human relationships, whatever. And tasha means to be healthy. And it's very rare for all three to be in alignment. It's usually one thing is lacking or another. And it's not often that somebody has financial stability, good health, and good human relationships all at the same time. I still remember something that Dalai Lama once shared a while ago. And he, sometimes gets invited to mansions. And when he goes to the bathroom, he takes a peek in the medicine cabinet. And guess what he finds? He finds antidepressants. On the outside, everything looks perfect. On the inside, there's a lot going on. And this isn't meaning to judge anyone. It's meant to remind us that something is very human. We're all very human. And in Kongo Kyo, we don't measure good life by how much we possess or how impressive things look on the outside. The Kyoten repeatedly teaches us that human life is supported by many invisible blessings and things we often only notice once they're missing, like our health, peace of mind, trust between people, the ability to wake up and go about our day. And if even one of those things don't go right, like you wake up, you go pee, but that pee doesn't come out, you're gonna panic. And what are you going to do? You're going to go to the hospital, which you really don't want to do for something like that. But, you know, all these normal things that we just take for granted every day is something that we really need to be starting to be more thankful for. Many people spend their entire lives chasing one thing, like money, success, recognition, believing that once they reach it, everything else is going to fall into place. But the reality is, gaining one thing doesn't automatically heal the other things. And that is why faith is not about having it all, but faith is about learning how to live well with what we are given already today. It also made me think about my own life. When I was growing up and even into my late 20s, my family, we struggled financially. Yeah, everyone struggles, but we struggled in the financial way. And I still remember how stressful it was. People from like Hawaiian Electric Company, Board of Water Supply, telephone company would come in their company cars in the driveway, knock on our door and say, final notice. If you can't pay your bill, we're going to cut off your electricity, we're going to cut off your water, we're going to cut off your telephone. And a few times they really had to shut it off because we couldn't pay. We didn't have any money. And what made it even worse was when they turned things back on, they slapped us with the reactivation fee, they slapped us with the late penalties, and it just made it more difficult than it already was. It was like putting salt on top of a wound. And as a child, that was really painful to watch. And I knew exactly what was going on. But I was too young to work to help my parents. I had a really strong desire that, I want to work hard and I want to help my parents financially when I grow up. And all I could do was really watch and pray and worry and pray and worry again. But we were healthy. My parents didn't complain. They never said like, oh, we're poor, we're poor. They never said that. It's so strange. They never said that we're poor. We're happy as a family. So, you know, we have good human relationships and good health. Just the money part was difficult. We didn't even have health insurance until I graduated from college and started working. We also didn't use welfare services. Even though we might have been qualified, we probably would have been qualified 100%. We didn't want to burden the government. Some people assume that because we were a church, we received a lot of like financial incentives or help from the government. But the truth is we didn't receive any of that. And we didn't ask for it either. What we did do was keep the faith. And we were thankful for what we had. And for many years, my mom worked constantly, often holding more than one job at a time. And that's how we somehow made ends meet. And she worked at like Lelehua High School for 17 years as a teacher, a Japanese teacher's aide. She taught at the Wahio Honganji for about 5 years. She worked at Kala Nippongo Gakuen Japanese School for 23 years. She taught adult education Japanese program at the Lelehua High School for 9 years. She taught at the Mililani High School adult education Japanese program for several years. And she also took care of an elderly woman for about 4 years. And in the earlier years, she also babysat Alex and Nicholas for several years, and they were church members of the church members' children. And some nights, when she used to work at the adult education, she would come home at 10:30 p.m. She barely had time to eat. I remember when she woke up, she'd go Lelehua, come back, like eat like shoyu and rice with water, and gulp it down like ochazuke. Go straight to Kala Japanese school, come home, eat another bowl of ochazuke with shoyu and water, and just gulp that down. That was her dinner. Go straight to Mililani High School for Japanese program, come back, 10:30, boom. She had to do a little bit more prep for the next day. And she sleep around 1 or 2 o'clock, and it was crazy. And what really stands out to me is that she always said she enjoyed the job. I had to confirm that myself, because how long did you work at where again? And she said that these jobs came to her. She didn't go around calling, oh, do you have a job for me? Because we need to help pay the bills. Like, we need a job, we need a job. She didn't. She prayed. And Kami-sama answered. And all these jobs came to her. It really helped out financially. And she prayed that somehow, some way, she could pay the bills. And when the opportunity came, she seized it immediately. And she didn't hesitate. She like pounced on it like a cat on a mouse. Now that story reminds me of Momotaro. You know the story of Momotaro? Do you? You know, yeah? Do you know, David? You all know. Okay, I'm going to go through it really quickly. It's a Japanese fairy tale. So, one day, an elderly couple who had no children, the grandpa was out cutting wood to make firewood, and grandma went to the river to do her laundry. And then when she was doing the laundry, this big peach came tumbling down the river, and she was like, "Whoa, what is that?" And she picked it up. And she said, "I'm going to show Grandpa." And he came home, and Grandpa was so amazed. He said, "Oh my gosh, where did you find this?" And decided to cut it open. They cut it open partway, and out pops this baby boy they named him Momotaro because he was born from the beach. And that boy was nurtured so lovingly by this couple. And he grew up into be a strong boy, very strong boy. And one day they had a serious talk with Momotaro. He said, "You know what? I need you to go to Onigashima, where all these oni, all these ogres have been causing trouble in the village, and they've been stealing people's things and treasures and causing a lot of trouble. I need you to go there to get justice." So Momotaro was like, "Okay, I will do that for you, Dad." And the grandpa gave him a katana. Grandma gave him a sachet of kibidango. And then he set off on his journey, and he encounters a dog, a monkey, and a pheasant. And they all join him on the journey. And each time he would give a kibidango to a dog, to the monkey, and to the pheasant, and they all help him out. And when they reach Onigashima, they encounter the ogres. They don't kill them. It's not that violent, but they give them good whoopings. And the ogres they apologized and said, I'm sorry for causing all this trouble. Here's all the treasure we stole from your peoples." And he comes back home and gives it all back to the people that the ogre stole it from. And then they live happily ever after. So that's the story of Momotaro. And you think, well, what's the question? The question is, what is the most important part of that story? Is it when Momotaro pounces out of that peach? Is it when they get justice? They go to Onigashima and they fight the ogres? But the most important part, according to Motoki Kumagai sensei, he is a minister that won the sermon contest in Japan last year. I listened to a sermon that I thought was really, really cute. He said the most important part of that fairy tale is the part when the peach comes floating down the river and the grandma notices it. That's where the Okage started. That's where this whole story. Without that, Momotaro wouldn't even be born. In the same way, my mom noticed the peaches that Kansama rolled at her. She picked them up, she accepted them, she worked hard, and she enjoyed teaching, she enjoyed babysitting, and slowly paid off credit card debt. We had to continue running the church, paying the utilities, have food on the table. We had to somehow pay for those things, but we had no money, so accumulated credit card debt. And so in 2003, my mom, our family entered a debt consolidation program. And by 2009, it was fully paid off, thanks to all these jobs that came to her. And interestingly, once that happened, that same year that she paid off the last debt, the elderly woman she was taking care of passed away at 99.5 years old. The adult education classes closed down because of lack of funding. And the work just ended right when it was no longer needed. It's like, okay, final debt is done. You won't need this job anymore, and you won't need this job anymore. It's just mind-blowing how everything just falls into place like that. And we were just talking about this last night on the phone. And remembering those days, it brought back a lot of memories. It was difficult. It was a hard time, but it also makes us feel grateful now. If we hadn't gone through those struggles, we wouldn't appreciate what we have today in the same way. There's a saying that a real diamond is created under extreme pressure and heat. Without the pressure, it's just carbon. And in the same way, good things in life are shaped by struggle. Not all suffering is meaningful, but sometimes the struggle makes us stronger and more grateful. This connects to something very important we talked about in the Kyoten Study Group session. With true faith, it's possible to have financial stability, good health, and good relationships for 3 generations. But interestingly, so how come not 4 generations? How come not 5 generations? Because usually it doesn't go beyond the 3rd generation, because by the 3rd generation, people don't know the struggle anymore. They forget. And when the struggle is forgotten, the gratitude is going to fade. And when gratitude fades, people become comfortable. And that's when blessings start slipping away, like water leaking out from a vessel with micro cracks. And that's where Konko Daijin taught us to always pray when we're struggling, but also give thanks when things are going well for us. There's a story about Kondo Fujimori sensei. This is a story we talked about in the Kyoten Study Group session on Wednesday. Kondo Fujimori sensei is one of Konko Daijin's disciples. Kondo Fujimori once told Konko Daijin that she wanted to seek hardship, like purposely now, seek hardship as a way to grow spiritually. You know, Shigyo training, and how people go under like cold waterfalls, naked, like almost naked, and like go into the snow barefooted and stuff like that. So he said he wanted to go into the mountains, live off what he could find, foraging in the woods, and eventually survive on just water. So he told this out to Konko Daijin. Konko Daijin listened to him, and then he told him that kind of training wasn't necessary. Instead, he said to Kondo Fujimori sensei, you could do this training right at home. Right at home. He said, you don't have to go up into the mountains. He said, you could build a mountain of training in your heart by not complaining about your wife's unsavory meals. The Konko Daijin knew what kind of person he was. And said, just don't complain. Make that your shugyo, make that your spiritual training. Not by doing something extreme. You don't have to do that. But by practicing gratitude in your everyday life. Faith isn't about praying when things are hard. It's about remembering to pray and give thanks when all things are going well. And that's hard to do because we forget and we get lazy. Kami-sama doesn't promise us a life without ups and downs. We're going to have ups and downs, and that's all about being human. But Kami-sama does walk with us, whether we're struggling or doing okay. So if you're going through a hard time right now, please don't lose your heart. And if things are going well, please don't forget to give thanks. Complain less, give thanks more. Opportunities come to us when we pray and wish for something, but we have to notice them, just like Momo, the big peach in Momotaro story. We have to notice the peach rolling down the river, be willing to pick it up, and be grateful for it. That's where the blessings begin. We cannot be like, oh, it's a peach. And when we see the peach and complain to Kami-sama, like, what? This isn't what I asked for. Why are you giving me a green peach? I wanted a ripe one. It's like, when it comes to you, accept it with grace, accept it with a lot of gratitude, and see where that okage is going to take you. See what's going to pop out of that bomo. And, that's where the blessings begin. And I want to thank you again for listening.
Thank you for attending the service. As I was listening to Ignatius' speech, I remember so many things. Actually, I want to share one of the messages I used to share with you, but I hesitate to bring those messages because it's so difficult. It's a Korikai number 3, Konko Kyoso Korikai number 78. Few have a heart that kami can accept. Those whose hearts can be accepted by kami will be blessed with good health, wealth, and wisdom for 3 generations, resulting in a strong family lineage. Those whose hearts are not accepted by kami may have wealth as well as wisdom, but will get sick. Those who have wisdom and good health will lose their wealth. If they do not lose their wealth, their beloved children will die, leaving no heirs. Since those people are not aware of kami's blessings, they are always lacking bounty or another. If you practice faith and understand kami's blessings, you will live a peaceful and stable life. You will have descendants and gain wealth. You receive their blessings from year to year and then from generation to generation. This is a message in the mention. Do you think you can achieve this? Teach. So actually, I always say, even Konko minister can hardly actualize this teaching. It is so true. And so even average judge believer, how can they achieve this kind of teaching? But some people who enjoy 3 generations or more generations of Konko believers, and they enjoy family strength. The message here could be very, very personal to my personal areas, but I really enjoy. I should say, actually, I wanted to share one message. We say in Japanese, "Oyako." Oyako means usually beautiful child, beautiful son, daughter. So now that I understand, Oyako means parents say thank you to the child. And so children may say thank you to the parents. This could be the state of Oyako. So the same thing can be applied to the Amagi Church, where you say, Kami Koko, Oyako, and Kami Koko. Kami Koko means Kami-sama say thank you, Nijimas. And we also say thank you to Kami-sama. This is a relation for Oyako, Kami Koko, Oyako. It may sound easy, but it really is difficult. And I really appreciate the message of Kamiko, Oyako. In Japan, the message of Oyako is fading away. How can they understand Kamiko? No ideas. But I simply find out Oyako means a pleasure of parents. Parents say thank you. And children say thank you. It's a relationship. And the Kami-sama said thank you for the child. And Kami-sama, we say thank you. It's a relationship with him, Ayukakyo and Kamiko. It's so simple, but cannot be achieved. is maybe the message I want to share. And as for the food complaint, I cook food. I enjoy. Yeah, so I like to cook very tasty food. And family members say, "Arigato, oishii." That's my pleasure. It's just. ありがとうございました。Gianni, oh, I think he...
Sincerely, with all your heart, we welcome you women are grateful and caring and harmony. But to come on is now where
What is that number?
109. Number 1. Number 1. はい。どうぞ。
斉藤宗次郎 1. I went to the Hiromayo for the first time on August 2nd, 1867. That was 28 years ago when I gave my first request to Konko-sama. My first son, Shikataro, was almost 2 months old at the time. He had been crying with his eyes closed day and night for 3 days. I requested for a cure.
Konko-sama imparted, when giving birth, people are irreverent by facing in open direction. They turn their backs toward Kami-sama while being ignorant of the grace of Tenchi, the universe. Apologize for your past irreverence and practice faith from today. Give a request to receive blessings in 14 days.
Number 3. That night I opened my son's eyes and found 7 white spots. I then sincerely practiced faith. On the 7th day, 4 white spots were gone. And on the 14th day, the remaining 3 were taken away. My son was blessed with normal eyes without delay. It all went according to what Konko-sama had imparted.
I requested to Konko-sama. I have been satisfied for a long time and rest your head. You can further suffering by you. Material suffering will be cut away by Konko-sama's sharp-cutting edge. Your suffering could be passed on to future generations, but Konko-sama's cutting edge can cut it away. By facing Kami and depends on us, Kami one material suffering will be passed on to your descendants. Leave everything to Kami.
3. I requested Konko-sama. My stomach hurts when I drink water. The food I eat feels as if it's stuck in my chest, and my belly always feels like it's as full as a pot. I've been suffering from these ailments day and night for over 10 years. Please help me. Kokon-sama invited. When drinking water, thank Kami. When eating, pray that the food will make your body healthier. When your stomach hurts while you are in the mountains, consume soda. When near a river, drink the river water. If your stomach hurts while you are pulling weeds in the paddies, during the heat of summer, scoop some paddy water with your hand and drink it. Then sit on the footpath and pray to Kami-sama, keeping this teaching in mind every day. Apply soil or water if you get hurt or break your arm or leg. Rely on Kami and you will be divine blessings.
For 1872, when I was 26, I had a case of typhoid fever. My temperature was very high. I couldn't eat for 9 days and my body turned into skin and bone. Under the suspended futon blanket, I couldn't move my body at any time. My family stood by helplessly. This was when my wife, Cole, was 22, and we had 2 children. My father, Jitsu Taro, went to the judo line and gave a request. Kokon-sama imparted, since the judo always practices faith, you can receive divine blessings. Go home and tell her, stop worrying and practice faith. Blessings are found in your own heart.
5. Konko-sama imparted in a teaching. People follow unsuitable diets, fall sick, and eat things they dislike. This only weakens their inner strength to live. Practice faith and take the best suited medicines instead. Best suited medicines are the foods you like. Unless your body regains its strength, you won't be cured. 2. Also, the foods said to be taboo are actually delicious. Partake all foods with a heart filled with gratitude. When you are sick, partake food with a heart that requests themselves. 6. On 111.
6. Before building the main house, I gave a request for Konko-sama. He imparted. Everyone tries to deceive the planning of Konko-sama. They wait for Konko-sama's absence in a certain direction. They avoid certain days and directions, thinking they never to be on man. They also enclose plots of land with secret ropes to keep them safe. They use the plot only when the Kami is absent. They commit these irreverses and say that Konji is really confused with Kami. But Konji is not confused with Kami. It's Kenji Kami-sama. He doesn't always come.
Konji makes his round in the directions indicated on the lunar calendar to prevent people every day. However, by not knowing this, people commit irreversible. Therefore, they are punished. When they try to escape from being punished, they say, do irreversible. Thus, they are largely various illnesses. There is no such thing as a good illness. Think about this and apologize for all your utterances when doing construction and anytime in the future. Because after leveling the ground and building the foundation, offer and sake sake and so in the 4 persons. Pray to avoid being relevant toward those persons and to have no injury. Think of the day when all members don't do and there are building materials ready. As the best way to start with, pray on that day to be allowed to start construction. When building the heavy wooden beam, pray sincerely to come for his help. Before he saw it, the roof of the house be built with 9%, yet only rain for all the house within 3 days. Look forward to the future. The family will prosper. Before going into a new house, install a shelf in the middle of the main outdoor. Then gather in front of it. We are in with the family as up for Genji Kaido Kanji. for this phase, go to celebrate the completion of the framework on an unlikely date without knowing divine blessings from three their free completed acts. However, corpse are before their mind. But for those who practice faith and ask permission from the unlikely date, coming to the step finding out what to do, then create a new ways of healing the people.